Welcome, you guys. Welcome to a brand new, fully engaged episode of Critical and Thinking podcast with Ty Barnett
and Ian Harris. How you guys doing?
Yo, we already got a few people already
All right,
in
jumping
tuning
in.
on,
Hey, I
on
joined
Facebook.
in. Look at me.
Yeah, we got
Start a
Ian,
watch
Jesse,
party.
and Patrick. What's up, Patrick? How you doing? I was in the military, Patrick.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
I'm starting a watch party.
Yeah,
All
what's
right,
going on, you
whatever that
guys? How are you? Yo, we got a few things. So, we're gonna be kind of all over the place. But
Yeah.
here's the beauty of being where we are as a country: is that there's no shortage of things to talk about. There is no shortage. There's never a week that we don't have absolutely anything, nothing to talk about, nothing. So let's get right into it.
Trump. He's in London, by a and
right.
lots of protesters came out, or as he calls it, his British inauguration.
Yeah, hilarious. It's like a lot of people came out to support me.
Yes.
I mean, they had a lot of signs. They were doing the exact opposite of promoting me, so that's just covert. That's what they were trying to do.
That's fake news. So we had some stuff.
He did a few things, by the way. He touched the Queen's back.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, man. You know what? You ever watch? I'm sure you're familiar with Mr. Bean.
Yeah, of course.
Mr. Bean, right? And Mr. Bean would always kind of get into these mishaps, like by accident, but he was like a buffoon type of thing, but he would kind of get into these things by accident.
Right.
And so, like, if you saw somewhere he did something with the Queen, like they actually had like that where they did something weird with the Queen.
Right.
And even with Will Ferrell and what's his name when they just did the Sherlock Holmes movie, right? But this dude, like, this is real life.
Right.
Like here's my question. Here's my only question. Like, does no one? Hey Sandy, how you doing? What up, Corey? Is there no one in his cycle, his circle of people,
right,
that says, "Hey, listen,
yeah,
just don't do this,
right,
this, and this."
Right.
Why aren't those people? Do you think they don't?
I think they're afraid of him. I mean, or something. I think they're afraid to get fired.
But even still, don't you think that they would just at least be like, "Hey, man, I'm just trying to help you out.
Right.
You can not listen to it if you want to, but I'm telling you ahead of time, this is what you should not do."
It's like, have you remember Naked Gun?
Yes.
When the Queen comes and he's trying to rescue her and he ends up running into her and going across the table, and then her legs are up over his face, and they take the picture. That's practically Trump.
We thought it's like weird that this is real life. Like, you see these headlines, and like, no one tells this dude, or either he doesn't listen, which is probably more believable, or no one just comes up and says, "Hey, man, all you have to do is don't touch her back. Don't touch her.
Right.
And when she puts her hand out, you shake her hand, but don't touch her back. This ain't your babe. This ain't your honey. You don't do. First of all, and even regular common etiquette, bro, you don't touch a woman's back just to say, "Hey, what's up?" You know what I'm saying? You don't do that. This is bananas.
At least he only grabbed her back.
Yeah, he wanted to go front and lower.
Yeah, he wanted. But it's funny. Corey says here, there's a. I hope they served in KFC and Burger King at the banquet. There was a picture of the banquet. And that's the first thing I thought. I saw this banquet. I'm like, oh, please tell me it's cold hamburgers. Hamburgers. Sorry.
Hamburgers.
And I was just like, man, that would have been sweet.
Because just to even throw it in his face. But I'm just, it's exhausting, bro. I know,
much, dude.
I know we talk about it on the show. We cover certain things about him on the show. But mentally, it is exhausting, dude.
Did you see, like, right when he landed? Well, first off, they said he was tweeting during his tour of, like, the palace. I don't know what. There's some great stuff here. A lot of hot ass. I don't know what he was doing. But then also, when he landed, he immediately insulted the mayor.
The mayor. What?
Like,
first of all, I guarantee you he knows nothing about the mayor. He just kind of found who's the person I could pick on.
Yeah, is he? No, he's like, is he a liberal or whatever?
That's all he did. He just found somebody he could pick on, and he learned his lesson by not. First of all, you're not gonna fuck with the Queen,
right?
You ain't fucking with the Queen, and he got called out on calling Meghan Markle nasty.
Right.
Listen.
Yeah, but you know how they spun it? He didn't use it as a noun; it was a verb. He didn't call her a nasty. He said that her behavior was nasty. So therefore, he didn't say nasty. Yeah, it's like going.
What up, Ricardo? Cario, what's up? What's up, Carlo? What's up, April?
I didn't say
what's
you
up?
were a bitch. I said stop bitching at me. I don't know. Maybe that's the same.
But that's here's my thing, bro. And if there are any, and I'm sure we don't have them, but if there are any Trump supporters that are watching, I'm sure we don't have any right now.
Just a basket.
But if there are any of you out there, all I ask is this: if you're comfortable with the dude lying, if you're totally cool with it, and you've accepted that this dude is a liar, and your common defense is everyone lies, if you're cool with that,
which I got this week a lot,
I just don't understand why. Explain to me, help me understand why he keeps lying. Like, to me, I'll be honest with you. If I'm that dude and I know my base don't give a fuck about me being honest, if I knew that, bro, I'm like, yo, I'm saying whatever. And
he does. He comes out and he's just like, no matter what it is, he just comes out and he's like, you know, I'm the richest man in the history of the world. They'll be like, yep, he's a rich man. Well, his tax returns say that he's not even actually a billionaire.
No,
that's fake news.
I'm saying, like, what if he just came out and said, yeah, whatever, and well, the tape says you said it. Oh, okay, well, it's a lie. Anyway.
Yeah.
Why would he not just do that? Why would you just say, no, I didn't say it? Like,
do you gonna believe me or your own lying ears?
And it's just weird to me that and his supporters to me are just like, I'd have more respect for him and his supporters if they just said, yeah, the dude lies, man.
Okay, this literally happened. I posted a thing about the video of the rebuttal or whatever of Khan, the mayor of London, saying, you know, yeah, well, this guy's a jackass and whatever, and you know, and I said something about this moron. This, you know, I called him some pejorative because he's a douchebag. I called him like an orange douchebag or whatever. I said, just lands in London and immediately insults, and you know, with this guy is a stone cold loser. And somebody posted on my page. I thought they were being satirical and funny. Turns out they weren't. They said, why does the Democrats always have to call names? I never see Republicans doing that.
It's like, but I'm posting this because of Republicans.
Because Trump called the guy a name. That's exactly what
Did the person have a follow-up to that?
No.
Of course not.
No. But I'm like, wait, I thought he was joking. I'm like, that's funny. And then people were like, no, this guy's serious. I'm like, no, he couldn't possibly be serious when the headline says Trump lands and calls guy stone cold loser.
Like, dude,
the next thing can't be, why do Democrats always call names?
You know that makes me think. You ever see those the marathon races, where they have the baton? Right. And they're passing baton. It's almost like Trump was at the door like, come on, as soon as I get Wi-Fi, baby. As soon as I get Wi-Fi, baby, I'm going off on him.
I really wonder what he's going through the thing. He's probably I wonder what he's really looking at. He's watching some people's videos or whatever on Instagram. I wonder what you're with the Queen. You're going through a tour of the palace and whatever. Yes. You're the president, and you're fucking tweeting. Are you kidding me?
IG, that motherfucker's on. Stop. All right, so Corey said, do you guys have any idea how racist you have to be to side with one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse just to have a white guy president again? Yeah, you know what? And we talked about this before, Corey. We actually brought this up before where we were just like, I honestly think that there are people in this country that would rather see the country burn down than to share or to give up anything that they believe is power.
Yeah,
and that's the sad thing.
Well, that's what. Remember, I told you this before. By the way, I'm sharing on my side over here too. Got a whole bunch of people: Jeff, Ginny, Sally, Dave, Mike, Roland. We got Brian, Michael, Dan, tons of people. Stacy over here as well as on Ty's page. We're double streaming this thing.
Yeah.
So what's up to everybody? Ryan Bell, what's up, Ryan Bell?
What up,
who's
bro?
A guest on watch one of the back couple episodes ago. Ryan Bell was a great guest.
Yes.
But you know, I really think, man, that there's. I said this before, the whole Trump thing, all that we're seeing here, it's the last stand of the angry white man.
Yeah,
it's like,
I can see that.
I mean, you hear the white people say, which maybe that's a topic we could talk about. I don't understand this, but you hear white people say stuff like you know, the racist white people say stuff like, we're losing the white race. In 20 years, there won't be any white race or whatever. And I'm like, well, first off, who the fuck cares? Like, what did your skin?
Well,
I mean, I almost said, what did your skin color ever do for you? I know the answer to that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But the thing is, they won't
the
admit.
list is.
But the thing is, the ones who want it so bad won't admit that it's done anything for them. That's weird, right?
Yeah, and that's
you're like, well, wait, why do you want your white skin so bad? Well, because it's great being white. Oh, so you're saying that you do have racial privilege? Well, no,
not really. And it's so funny. I said this today to somebody. I was talking to somebody. Actually, I was getting new headshots taken, which is weird. I'll be honest with you, it was crazy. I've been doing comedy, I don't know, 18, 19 years or something like that. I can stand on any stage. Hilarious. I can stand on any stage, tell jokes in front of people, but when it comes to them saying, here, stand still, I'm taking a picture, it's weird to me. I still have that weird, I don't know, do you get the same way?
I can't. Every headshot is like, it's like, you ever seen Black Dynamite?
Yes.
Every headshot is, Ian, smile. I am smiling. Like, I can't fucking smile. Like, and when I smile, if there's a picture where they make me laugh and they take a picture, I look like this.
Hilarious.
I'm like, so either I'm Black Dynamite or I'm Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. I have like no in between point. Smithers. That's my headshot. Or I'm like, yeah.
But I asked him. I said to him. I said, you know what? And I'm saying this as a black man. Just if there's any. I mean, I know we got white guys looking at this, but as a black man, I can tell you right now, I don't think black people get mad at white people for having white privilege as much as we get upset that you act like it doesn't exist, and you feel like it's something that you have to, that you're not benefiting from. That's the problem. Because again, statistics clearly show, video clearly shows it, that it exists. My only thing is just say, yeah, you have benefited from this, which is, hey, I mean, don't hate the player, hate the game. That's what they say, right? But
yeah, but let's clarify though, because the problem is the language we use, and oddly enough, it's usually liberal white people that go overboard with it. What do you call it? The being offended by proxy sort of a thing, right? It's usually white people going. Rob? It's usually the super offended white people going, oh, these, you're white privilege and whatever the deal. But the thing is that you also have to understand. First off, because they're uneducated. Second of all, they might not be too smart. I don't know what the deal is, but there are a lot of people out there that, and not me included, but I would say some level on me included, although I'm a little bit more educated and I'm, I have black friends for real. But I do have one. Oh, yeah. I thought you were saying, hold on a second, let me get one. Let me call one up on the phone. No, but you also have to remember that some of these like poor fucking redneck cracker idiots living in their one bedroom trailer with their 13 kids, and they see a black president, and they go, "Oh, I'm privileged. Now they are, but the thing is, there are levels to this, and what they don't understand, which has never been told to a lot of those people, and I'm sure it's been told a few, and they just still pass it off. But a lot of them, what they think white privilege means is that they get anything they want because they're white, and that's just bullshit. That's not how it works. What it means is, there may be way more privileged black people and Hispanic, whatever. There may be way more privileged and rich people than a lot of white people. But the difference is that there's nothing that's going to happen to you because of your skin color.
Right.
And that's what they don't realize.
It's a saying out there, but someone turned it into a meme, and it says white privilege doesn't mean that you don't have problems. It just means that being white is not one of them. Isn't one of them. And that this is what people have to understand.
You're not going to get discriminated against or beat up or whatever because of your. Now, I mean, maybe there's the rare cases if you live in Compton and you're the only white kid, you might get picked on for being a white kid.
No. But you know what? Here's what's crazy, and this is why I say it's a psychological thing that has to do with black folks. I was back home. I was in Chicago, and I was dropping my mom off at home. She lives on the south side of Chicago, and there's a white guy that rolled by on a bike. Right. Do you ever see Do the Right Thing?
Of course, yeah.
See the guy that got his Jordan, he stepped on what's his name's shoes when he had his bike and he was going back and he's like, you stepped on my fucking Jordans, man. Right. It was kind of like that moment where the dude, just one white dude, and me, my mom, my brother, my girl, we all looked. And we were like, and we were just, and even my mom was like, what is he doing around here? And she said, and then she said, well, he should probably get ready to get out of here. And I said, actually, Ma, he's probably the safest person in this neighborhood. They're not going to beat that dude up. Why? Because first of all, they're like, why is this white dude here?
Right.
He's here, and if he's here, other white people know that he's here. So we're not fucking with him.
Well, that might be the hardest motherfucker there right there.
Exactly.
Like,
they not messing
this guy
with
knows
him, bro.
some shit that I don't know.
They not messing with him. So like I said, to me,
he's not the kind of white guy that needs 3 guns to go get some Skittles from the store.
Did you see that shit? What the fuck, bro? Is it the apocalypse? When are you shopping, bro?
Someone tried to take my Skittles last time.
And he's a big dude. And did you see I'll pull up the picture. The dude is huge.
Yeah.
It's a big dude. It's not like some mousy dude, but it's a big, like you could tell that he had to duck to go under the thing. Like, you are a huge mother. Why do you need 3 pistols on you, bro?
Yeah. No, I know it's nuts. But yeah, I think the thing with is somebody needs to explain to
So for the people that may not know, like, this is the dude. Look how big this dude is.
Showed up to that one too.
Do you see that? Look how big that dude is. He got 1, 2, 3, and come on, and a gun on. He got 4 guns. 1 is on his shirt. He actually got 4 guns.
That's the decoy in case somebody tries to take the gun. Damn, I got the shirt. But it's fucking nuts, dude. But to me, the thing is that part of all this problem is that we get too revved up. Social media is that way. We talked about this before, where you disagree on social media and it turns so fast.
Right.
Where someone's like, well, I think this point's like that. And somebody else is like, go fuck yourself. And then it's like, oh yeah, fuck you. And it gets crazy really quick. So I think the problem is that we have that. And then it's the same thing. You see that person in person, you go, no, man, I didn't mean, I just meant like, but, and then you talk to them for 2 seconds, you go, oh, we agree. And then online, it's like, fuck you, retard motherfucker, whatever. It's crazy. So I think the problem with we need to explain this shit to people in a way without just going, oh, you're a fucking moron, you don't get it, which happens a lot. And I'm the worst of it. I will be the first to admit. By the way, for those people who say I never admit I'm wrong, I will just I admit I'm wrong.
He said it on June 4th?
June 4th at 4:22.
So there you go. There you have it.
I've been wrong once.
Here's the thing, man. And I honestly, and actually, it's funny that we're having this conversation because I was talking to my photographer. And, he's from New York, but he lives here. And we were just talking about how he was playing music while we were taking pictures. And he was playing, he had a really good playlist.
You talking about privilege? Music. I don't even have a photographer.
Hilarious. Well, I'm in a different demographic.
my photographer.
But we talked about how when you live only in certain areas, and you actually said this last time where you said it was someone at a town hall that said they didn't even know certain things were happening because they only watch a certain type of news. To me, when we have a country that if you are in Los Angeles or New York, you're pretty much in the mecca of diversities right there. Right. I know it's not possible to have 2 meccas, but anyway. So you have so people either come to the East Coast or the West Coast. It's very rare that people go down south. No one moves from, London and says, I'm moving to Alabama. Like no one does that. So those people that live in those pockets, they really only hang out with the same people. They watch the same programs and do all that stuff. So they really don't have, even though they're in the same area, they don't associate with each other. So for them, their mindset is totally different. Black people have a different reality than white folks, whereas in Los Angeles, we have some of the same, we live in the same areas. Like the area Ian lives in now, he was one of the few white people that moved there and all that stuff. So I think that's part of the issue of why...
Gentrification.
Yes. It's part of the reason why we don't have... an ability to have a civil discourse about what's going on and that's affecting everybody.
Right.
Everybody that's not rich. But just to be clear, everybody that's not rich.
If you look at anywhere demographic, look at big cities look in Florida, Miami, look in Texas, Houston, Austin, Dallas. Look in Illinois, Chicago. Any place where there's cities.
Yeah.
Those cities are almost always way more progressive. Mm-hmm. They vote blue, and I'm not saying that voting blue and being progressive is better, but it is. But
he said that at 424.
Exactly. But why is
What's
that?
up, Butch?
The reason is because the fear goes away when you actually fucking know people.
And it really does.
And you have to be with people. Yeah, I'm sure there's some times where it makes it worse. Yeah, I mean if you're if you go to some gang-infested place and back in the 90s and it scared the shit out of you, that might turn you the other direction.
Right.
But overall, in general, when you go to work and you work with an Asian lady and a black dude and a Mexican dude and a guy from El Salvador and this guy doesn't speak English and this guy only speaks Cambodian. It's like you just go, fuck it, they're all my buddies.
It's very hard to be racist when you live in a place where there's a lot of different races.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you're going to be angry. You're going to be angry every fucking day. You understand how many different types of people you're going to see on a regular basis? Butch Bradley just joined, by the way. I just really... Because I was saying this, like, I didn't have a white friend until I joined the military. Like, I went to school with white people and all that stuff, but
I knew him before the military. Bullshit.
Hilarious. But I was 18, bro. I was 17, 18 years old before I knew a white person that I really called my friend.
Right.
His name was Nate. And a tall white dude from like Iowa or something like that. And one of the coolest people you could ever meet. And we like I said, we met because we were forced to be in the same barracks and hang out and do the same things, exercise together, eat together, and all of this stuff. So then you get a different perspective, just like you got a different perspective of black people from hanging out with me. So I feel like at some point, and then I also say this when it comes to entertainment, we're more alike than we are different. We like some of the same TV shows, the same movies, the same music, the same. I don't just see white people at Comic-Con. I see all types, and you know this more than me because you go to Dragon Con and all that stuff. I'm sure you see tons of different people into this cosplay type stuff.
By the way, this is a horrible stereotype. I hate it that I think this, but it always cracks me up when I see like super nerdy black guys. Hilarious. Just because our society is always like every time, because the stereotype is always the black guy's the cool guy. And when I grew up, we had like no black people in Santa Cruz, and there was like there'd be like 3 black kids in my school, and they were all in group homes. They were all like brought in from somewhere, right?
Wow.
Like, yeah, so it was like, but they were always like the best kids at sports. Mm-hmm. All the kids thought they were cool because they were different, and they were like, they were.
Well, we got.
That guy's from the city.
We do have superpowers.
That's true. So it was quite the opposite of probably somebody else's experience, because Santa Cruz is super liberal, whatever. But it's funny because so to me, growing up, it was always like, oh, the black kids are the cool kids. And it's so funny when I go to one of these things and it's like, to my shows where it's like science, and there's always like the black guy who's just hi, my name's Bob, and you're just like, you are the weirdest stereotype. You're like, you are a nerd stereotype, and it's not what you expect.
Because growing up, I was a huge Star Wars fan. Not so much Star Trek. I look at Star Trek now, and if it's on and there's nothing else on, which is rare in 2019, where there's nothing else on, but at the time, I hated when Star Trek was on, when it was the only thing on. So I was never a Trekkie. I was always a Star Wars fan.
I love the original one because it's so campy and stupid. I never got into the other Star Trek.
No. Yeah. But like, whenever I would watch, I collected Star Wars figures, G.I. Joes, and all of that stuff. I was that dude that was. Don't get me wrong. I've never dressed up in any kind of cosplay or anything like that.
Right.
That's still for y'all.
Yeah, but I don't do that shit. Yeah. But I only, just to be fair, I only dress up in blackface.
Hilarious.
To go to Dragon Con. That's.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you something. Have you ever dressed up for?
No, I'm not a cosplay dude.
Never. Okay. Even when you go to the Dragon, none of that.
No. That's not my thing. Although I've seen some crazy ass costumes there. I will tell you that. I've seen some cool ass fucking costumes.
Hold on, let me see. Let me get Corey's statement here. Comics are the key to fighting racism. Okay. How you gonna fight about black and white when this motherfucker is green? Yeah. Well, but here's it's funny he said that, because let's talk about economics for 2 seconds. You have to understand something, man. Lack of money affects you just like having a lot of money affects you. They say money doesn't change you, it just makes you more of who you already are, right? If you don't have any money, you're going to be angry. We've both experienced this before. Like it either makes you angry or it stresses you out. So you have either short temper when you don't have money, and you're a little bit more understanding when you do. It's just they did studies, and people are way more able to be dealt with on payday versus when it's
just the stress factor. Like, honestly, when I've had moments in my life where I don't have to worry about money at all, and moments where I'm like, oh man, can I buy this right now?
Yeah.
And it's like, and even like buy, like, can I go buy this coffee at Starbucks. And then other moments where I'm just like, what is it? A car? Oh, that's cool. You know? And I think that it's so much more relaxing when you can just go do whatever the fuck you want. I mean, within reason, even. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about, I don't just go, tomorrow I'm going to go to Paris, jump on a plane. I don't do that. But it's like, you know, if I want to go see a show or go buy something, or I should just be able to just do it. It's like, it's so much less stressful.
And that's so my point to that is, I think that also has a factor in why this country has the tension that it does, because the rich people are the only ones controlling everything.
Right.
But when you don't have anything and someone can easily make you feel like the person next to you is the problem, then you feel that way, because that's the person you can take it out on, because they're right there.
See, that's the biggest oppression, the biggest form of oppression that exists in America, well, in the world, but in America, isn't racial oppression anymore. It's economic oppression. Now, that's amplified by racial oppression. I'm not saying that doesn't exist. Would never say that in a million years. And statistically, yes, minorities that have had a rougher time over the years are more economically depressed per capita than white people. But the numbers of economically oppressed white, black, Hispanic, it's similar. And the thing is that group is the biggest shit-on group in America, in the world, for sure. The poor. And it's like, we can't get together as the poor, because the poor white guys in Alabama think that they're going to be rich one day, and they think the poor black guy's the problem. The poor black guy is the problem because it thinks the white guy's the problem, or the Mexican guy coming over the border is the problem. And we're all fucking, everyone is poor.
Just so you guys know, Walmart just designed some robots that will sweep floors and stock shelves. Not immigrants.
Yes.
Just to put in perspective.
But because Walmart is owned by white people, they named all of them Jose.
Just to piss people off. Just to piss people off.
They're called El Robot.
Plug in Juan. Please plug in Juan. Thank you. But I think at the end of the day, you really have to understand who the problem is and what the problem is, and then you'll get a better idea of what the solution is. Real quick. And I haven't watched it yet. You should watch it because I haven't watched it yet. We should watch it at the same time, and then by the next time we come together on the show, we can watch it. But I've been talking about watching this, but I can't bring myself to watch it yet. Is When They See Us.
Oh yeah, I saw you post about that. I don't even know what that's about.
What it's about? It's the documentary. It's a mini series documenting the situation with the Central Park Five. The 5 teens that were falsely accused and imprisoned.
Do they come together and join a robot? Is that a different?
See, which brings me to my point. Some people have no fucking empathy. I'm just kidding. But it's their story, and you know, by the way, Trump is one of the people, and I've heard people bring up the Clintons as well, because that's where the term super predator kind of came out, and they blame Hillary for that term. But Trump called for them to be executed. And I actually saw an interview with him talking about them years ago, where he says, "Yeah, I hate him. I think hate is what we need." You should really see it. It's a trip that this dude ended up being the president. But it's basically talking about these kids who were falsely imprisoned and how they were eventually exonerated, got out of prison. They ended up getting like a $44 million settlement from the city and all of that stuff. But here's why I say this. So when I posted this, bro, I've been asking all my friends.
Right.
I said, can I watch it? Because people know how I am.
Right.
They know, and you know, we've had private discussions away from this, and you know how I am sometimes. And I was like, is this something I can watch?
Or are you going to snap?
Do I need to watch this by myself? Do I need to be inebriated? Tell me what I need to do to watch this. And everybody, Ian, every single person has said, bro, it is hard to watch. It's hard to watch. People, the constant thing that people have been saying is they had to turn it off, cry it out, whatever, and then come back and watch it again. It's crazy to me. And so part of me is like, I have to wait. I think I'm gonna watch the first episode tonight, but you should watch it and see. But see, Corey said I got 20 minutes into episode 1 and I had to take a break. See what I'm saying? I had to take a break because you see how
the Netflix thing?
Yeah, Netflix. Okay. But you see how the justice system railroaded these kids. Yeah. But let me tell you something that's crazy. And actually, I laughed at it. It was funny, but it's sad at the same time. Someone posted another thing about it, and they said, yeah, I tried to watch it, and then I had to take a break from it, and then I got back to watching, and it's just, I couldn't watch the whole thing, so I had to watch something more lighthearted. So I watched this thing about werewolves and stuff like that. It's like, imagine.
So I watched Schindler's List.
Yes. No, but they basically said they watched things about werewolves and horror films to take away from the actual pain of watching a documentary about the justice system. That's what's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance, watch it. It's.
Well, I can't wait to see what the documentaries on the justice system look like in the future after this.
Oh, bro, this is gonna be.
But
But you know what, man?
I can't say it's getting worse. It's not worse than it was back in the day, absolutely. But
No.
But we had a better moment, and now it looks like we're trying to go back to that period of time.
Well, I mean, now you're starting to see what they're doing with women and their rights. But listen, you can either get rid of these people by voting them out, or because this is the only thing I ask people for this next election. If you're listening, anybody out there watching, if you're one of those people that are posting that the Democrats, any Democratic nominee is worse or just as bad as the Republicans, all I ask you to do, once this dude gets another 4 years, delete yourself from my page, my friend list, and don't post anything negative about Republicans or Trump for the next 4 years. Don't. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I'm not co-signing it. Don't tag me in it. Nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear one fucking thing about it.
I will say the one thing I hate is my super left friends that are like, everybody except for Bernie or whatever is exactly the same as Trump. Really, dude? Shut the fuck. Like, really?
It's not.
George W. Bush would be better than Trump. Are you fucking kidding me?
To be honest with you, that's actually fair. Like I told you,
I don't ever want that fucking shit again either. But it's like,
but at least here's the thing.
At least he wasn't insane.
Yes.
I mean, and you know.
Here's what I tell people about Bush. It wasn't like you hated Bush.
I did.
I'm talking about like you hate this guy.
Yeah, he's just
like you
fucking
hate
imbecile.
this guy.
Yeah.
Bush, you just didn't like.
Right.
He didn't seem like an evil individual. Bad president, yes. Not smart, yes. But not an evil person. This dude is different. So with anybody else, you're almost like, okay, yeah, we probably go with Mitt Romney. I would have taken Mitt Romney as a president.
But see, that's sad that's where we're at a point where we're like, please just give us Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
Like that's. And I get where people's frustration, where they're like, "Oh, Joe Biden, center of the road, blah blah blah." But it's like, you know what? Let's at least start going slightly in the right direction. At least everyone wants like overnight there to be 400 fucking super left wing socialist people they want 400 AOCs in the fucking House tomorrow and fucking 100 senators and a president. It's like it's not gonna fucking happen. We got to slowly work our way to what we want, and it's gonna start with whatever we can fucking get. And if we don't, we're gonna lose everything, including our democracy, our constitution. It's where he's going already. It's what he's trying to do. And these people are complicit. These the worst guy. Trump is a useful moron, useful idiot. The guy that we really need to get Mitch McConnell has got to fucking go wherever the fuck he's from, Kansas or
you know what it's like. It's to put it in
Kentucky?
terms that people can understand. It's like giving you the difference between. It's like saying you have a choice between a steak that has been well prepared, that's been prepared, it's fine, but a fly fell on it on a portion of it, or you can have this rancid dog shit.
How we go? It's like it's dark chocolate or milk chocolate or dog shit, and people are like, "Well, I like dark chocolate, so I'm gonna take the dog shit."
You see, that's what I'm saying. It's like
you're like, because milk chocolate's just the same as dog shit. Really, you're not being a little hyperbolic here? I don't like milk chocolate, but you like dog shit. No, I hate dog shit. Well, then why the fuck?
This is why I say we have to at some point either come together and pick a Democrat that you're cool with, or just don't say anything for the next 4 years. That's all I ask. I don't want to see you posting any problems with what happened, because you obviously are not upset enough to at least get rid of these people.
Yeah, let's start with getting rid of these people. Like, you know what? If you cut your fucking wrist open or whatever, you got to stop the bleeding before you can fucking heal the rest of it, right? And it's like, let's stop the fucking bleeding first. Like, we have, dude, it's getting way the fuck out of hand. But, we got to do something also about the Republicans. They're not even wanting to fix the voter fraud.
That's the thing that trips me out. It's like, okay, here's the one thing. Let's say you left or right, whatever side you're on. The one thing that is that is not in question anymore is that Russia did interfere in our election.
And they're trying it, and there's everyone saying they're going to do it probably worse.
And so it's not even a question about it. I just want to be very clear when we say this. It is not even a question on the left or right, that this happened. Now, here's the other thing that is a fact. This current administration literally is doing nothing to avoid it happening again.
No, they're actually doing stuff to let it happen again. There's bills that have come up, several that have come up,
and they've blocked them.
They block them, yeah.
So that should tell you where we are. And if you don't want to fix that, again, I'll just say, don't comment on my page, don't tag me and shit. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, bro. If this dude gets another 4 years, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I will not comment on anything political anymore until that dude is out. The reason why I'm saying that is because it won't matter. It won't matter for the next 4 years. The first 4 years is different because the dude
if he has 4 more years, I am not being talk about. I just said being hyperbolic. I'm not being hyperbolic. If he has 4 more years, I really don't think we have a country or a government after 4 years.
I don't doubt that.
I don't think that we have the same. I mean, they're already saying that the rule of law doesn't matter. They're already saying that nobody has to answer to subpoenas and summons, and we're only 2.5 years into this guy. So another 6? Are you fucking kidding me? We'll get rid of. They'll pass a fucking bill that says that the president can be president as long as he wants. I mean, and that he only needs to have as many votes as he needs to have votes. I mean, they'll just make up because nobody fucking cares. And the bottom line is we won't vote them out. I mean, and everyone, 65-70% of the country is saying they're pro-choice. They want health care, all these things, and they're just going, fuck you, we're in power.
And this is
we don't give a fuck what you want.
Power corrupts. Was it totally something? What's the saying?
Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts.
Absolutely. And this is what we're seeing. You're seeing it now. You gave the keys to the car to a narcissist. You gave the keys to a car to a lying narcissist. You gave the keys to a car to a lying, corrupt narcissist. So what did you think was going to happen? My only thing to you guys is either be comfortable with what it is, which Trump supporters have been. This is the one thing I have to give them credit for. They're cool with it, man.
Right.
Now, they may be cool with it because they're dumb. They may be cool with it because they're not informed. They may be cool with it because they're racist. But they're cool with it.
Right.
The other side, the Democrats, liberals, progressives, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Get your shit together. Figure out what you need to do to reverse this because you already see where it's going. With Pelosi and trying to figure out the impeachment thing, come on. Yeah, come on. What are you worried about? What are you worried about? His base is going to be there regardless of whether you... Here's the thing. His base will be there regardless of whether you impeach him or not. They will not leave. So you not impeaching him still sends a signal that you are comfortable with them doing whatever.
They're going. Everyone's misreading this though, and I'm not saying that now is not the time or now is the time. Yet I don't have enough facts on that, but I will say that I think what she's doing is on some level the right thing. They are going to impeach this fucking guy. What she's making sure, from what I gather, she's fucking smart, dude. She knows what she's doing. She's not playing politics. She's doing 2 things. One, making sure that they have enough fucking evidence that they can throw down and go, this is what we have. Boom. Look at all this. Number 1. Number 2, they don't want to. They know that everyone else, the Senate's going to rush through this. So here's the problem. We all know that the Senate will not convict. Right now, no way. You could, again, and we've said this before.
What up, Dwayne?
You could show you don't even need, it could be a live video. It could be a live feed of Trump raping a baby in the middle of the street. And
don't blame the baby.
Yeah, or they'd say it's fake news, or they'd say that's Hillary dressed up as Trump.
No.
They would make up some, they just wouldn't.
And look at how the baby was dressed.
Right, they'd be like, come on, is the baby really getting, whatever, they wouldn't do shit. You might get one senator who goes, yeah, I don't know that I can agree with that. I'm just going to recuse myself from the vote. They wouldn't fucking vote against him. We know that. So it makes sense that if they vote, there are those people that only watch the news that might want to actually be informed. So the thing is, if he gets acquitted, he's going to say totally exonerated, even though we all know that he wasn't fucking totally exonerated, but he's going to say totally exonerated. And then if he has a year to walk around going totally exonerated, he might get that 1 or 2% that he needs to fucking put it over the top and win. So I get that. I think, though, a couple things that could happen. Number one is they could easily keep putting out stuff, keep showing the American people, look, we did this, they didn't comply. We did this, they didn't comply. And then put as many people on trial as possible so the American people see it. Start impeachment proceedings or impeachment investigations, drag them out so that all this stuff is in the news everywhere. If it's in the news and these people have to be subpoenaed because it's under impeachment, then we're going to have to see the Mueller report. We're going to have to see all of this stuff. We're going to have to see people testify. Once we start doing that, people are going to be like, okay, maybe there's something here, number one. Number two, then we go to those places, those senators that are in the purple states, the Republican senators that might be up for re-election, that are scared, that probably think Trump should be impeached, but they don't want to lose their fucking base. Then we say to them, look, we run ads in their fucking states that say, look at what this motherfucker did, and if your person supports this person, get rid of him. Then we're getting people going, okay, he's a criminal, and this senator is supporting this criminal. So then that we might get senators to vote. We might actually get a conviction at that point. Or at the very least, they exonerate him or acquit him or whatever the deal is, and then we can say, we all saw the fucking evidence. We all know he's guilty. Look how fucking complicit these motherfuckers are. And even if he gets voted in, we get some of those senators out so we get the Senate back. And then the other option is push it so long that he's in the middle of the impeachment trial while the election is up. Okay. Then there's no verdict, but we're seeing all the information, and he is a president that is being impeached.
Here's the thing. This dude has told over 10,000 lies. Republicans don't care.
Right.
His base don't care. This dude has bragged about sexual assault. His base doesn't care.
Right.
Republicans could care less. This dude has cheated on multiple wives. Evangelicals don't give a fuck. Republicans don't give a fuck. His base calls him a playboy. This dude tells you stuff, then does the exact opposite. He takes your Medicare, and you're still blaming other people. The reason why I'm listing all of this is that none of the impeachment shit is going to matter if you go to those senators, you go to those states, and you say, hey, look, here's the evidence. They know this dude is corrupt. They know that. This is not like speculation like year one of the Mueller investigation, like we're just now getting indictments on Manafort and stuff like that. They know all of this, and they're still not doing a fucking thing. They don't care.
But here's the thing. The people, there is a 5 to 10% of people, and independents, there is that group out there that is wavering back and forth because there are independents and there are people who are lean to the right that only watch Fox News, that only do, like that lady I was telling you about that said, I didn't even know that there was, I heard that he was exonerated. Like, she didn't fucking know anything. And she's like, I got to start looking into this because this is concerning to me. If we get those people and the fucking, the independents, if we can show them, a lot of them have never read the fucking Mueller report. Most people haven't.
That's my point.
But the thing is, if we get Mueller on the fucking stand,
he's not doing it.
He has to if it's an impeachment trial. If we get Gann on the stand, he has to if he's a fucking impeachment trial. If it's an impeachment trial, they have that authority. Right now, they don't. They do, but they're ignoring it. They can't ignore an impeachment.
So what happens?
We can get fucking Trump on.
So what happens? So what happens? What happens in the impeachment? And they say, "Well, I don't want to do this. I'm not. I'm ignoring the subpoena." What happened? What happens?
I believe there's fucking jail time and fines and all sorts of shit.
What kind of jail time?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that it's much harsher if they're
and all I'm saying to you is, everything you laid out makes total sense. Everything you laid out, I hope it plays out in our favor. But what I'm telling you is, I'm looking at what people are letting go.
We're never going to get those people. It's not those people where the impeachment hearings are for. The impeachment are for the people. They said already since in the last week, it went from 42% of people being against impeachment to 37% in just the last week off what so 5% has changed for impeachment in the last week just based on Mueller coming out and saying what he said. Once we can start getting the documents out there to where places like Fox News, if the only fucking news is Trump was on the stand today, They have to fucking cover it.
I
just think they're doing a slow process so that it's not one and done and gone, and then he can go, I'm exonerated.
I'm hoping that you're right, bro. But what I'm telling you is I got fooled the first time thinking that the American public had morals and standards. You ain't fooling me again, bro. Yeah. You're not fooling me again. I will not be surprised if because sometimes shit will happen, dude, just out of plain spite.
Right.
It's almost like a family thing. Like if you know somebody in your family is fucked up, you're not gonna tell the person who claims that they're fucked up. You're not gonna agree with them in public. You might be like, "No, fuck you. This is my family. You don't talk about my family like that. You don't know anything about them." You might pull your family to the side and be like, "You know, that's fucked up." Right, but you're not going to tell them. And I think out of spite, a lot of these people, like I said, to go back to what I said at the very beginning, a lot of these people would rather see the country burn to the ground as opposed to give up anything. Do you understand? Let me explain something. Let me say something real quick, and then we got to get ready to wrap this up. By the way, thank you guys for sticking around.
Yeah, thanks on both sides here.
Think about this. You know how hard it must be to ask people to share something that they stole? Share something that they stole, not something that they earned, not something that you guys worked together to get, something that they stole. And that's what you're asking a lot of these people to do. You're asking them to give the same kind of love and belief and empathy to people that don't look like them. They've never had to do that. You're asking them people to share healthcare. You're asking them to share residences. You're asking them to share businesses. They've never had to. They don't believe that they have to do that because this country wasn't founded that way. This country was founded on a quote unquote hierarchy of supremacy. And that's when you're asking people to change that mentality. That's hard for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're seeing it now. So like I said, bro, I fingers crossed that what you're saying plays out right. But I have a funny feeling that we will be in the same spot and I'll just be like, don't talk to me about Trump. Because he got another 4 years.
But see, I think that's what they are. They're definitely trying to not let him be the victim, and not let him be able to say he's exonerated. So they're dragging it out. And she's right. If we act too early and we don't have enough evidence and we don't have everything backed and ready to go, if we don't have that, he's gonna fucking be able to go, see, I was right. And that 5% of people who watch Fox News who didn't know the difference, they're gonna go, they're gonna be like, oh well, look at that. See, he was right all this time. We have to at least be able to show it to where they cannot fucking deny that. It's those little 5%. It's those people in the fucking Rust Belt that voted for him that won't vote for him again.
I get that, but think about this, dude. You got evidence that this dude paid off porn stars and lied about it. His rating with evangelicals didn't go down after that. They doubled.
We're not going for those.
No. I'm just saying. Just put it in perspective of how cultish these people are.
No, for sure.
It didn't go down.
Right.
It went up. And those same people.
I 100% agree. That's 30 to 35%. It's not. It's the 5% that isn't in a cult.
Okay.
That's the people that we need to get. And the other thing is there's probably another 5% that voted for Hillary that did it begrudgingly. Right. If we push those people to the other side because it looks like we're doing a witch hunt that was bullshit, then we fucking lose.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. Fingers crossed.
I know.
That's all I'm going to say. That's actually going to be the new slogan for 2020 candidates. Fingers crossed.
I mean, and here's the thing: at the very least, we have to impeach him because otherwise we're setting a precedent that they can just get away with the shit. So we have to do that. We got to cut this out here today.
So let's
homework. I'll try to watch the show.
Yes,
people out there.
Hey, Dwayne, have you seen When They See Us? Let us know if you still watching real quick. If you've seen it. Corey, thanks for the information. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Go and subscribe, please, to the Critical Thinking Podcast. We got this episode. We got past episodes. We got great guests that have been on there before. You can subscribe. Go onto the Patreon. Throw us a couple bucks. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to pay off no porn stars. But, I mean, hey, what's up? This is, a little bit less. You can find Ian at
IanHarrisComedian.com or SkepticComedian.com and all the social mediums.
And you can find me at ComedianTyBarnett.com, which has links to all the other social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the album, which is Grown Man Baby Steps, and the web series. This is the bullshit I'm talking about. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Dwayne hasn't seen it yet. If you haven't seen it, go watch When They See Us, and we'll talk about it next episode. Ian's going to watch it. And we're going to talk about it next episode. And I think I'm going to have to watch it by myself with some tequila. Critical Thinking Podcast. Ty Barnett.
Ian Harris. We'll see you next time.